Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is October 18th, 2022. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Hello.
Witchy shield maiden.
Yes, look at that little witch there.
Gwen the Witch.
Gwen the Witch Maiden. And we also have Shield Maiden, Morning Darkness Grogu.
This is so cute.
And what's funny is it's my kid's Halloween costume.
Oh.
And we also have the freshly shaven Viking Vaste.
Hello.
And we have Bambi the Shield Maiden.
Hello there.
And joining us for the first time is a Viking Deviant.
Hey lads, how are you getting on? So shy.
Well, so it's so good to have you on the podcast, Deviant. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. Long day of work, but yeah, it's nice to chill out on Valheim on the server and then just hopping on this because you're asking for guests. I said, you know what, I'll hop on, get to know everybody.
Yeah, I love having people from the community on just to hear different voices and learn about different people. That's actually been one of my favorite parts about being a filmmaker over the years is a lot of people, they have regular day jobs. They go into the same job. They see the same people. Every once in a while, there's a turnover. You get new people coming and going. But I've always got the ability to meet new people on every project. Sure, I have some of the same people come and work on the same project, but I get to meet new people. And that's one of the things I loved about starting a Valheim community was just all the cool people that I got to meet. And I wanted to bring them on a podcast, learn a little bit more about the different people out there in the world who love Valheim too.
Yeah, it's actually pretty sweet, especially with, the amazing thing is the amount of people globally that play.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't expect to end up being such good pals with some random person from Australia. Just randomly, we play so often together, but completely different time zones. And it's actually so cool. It's actually one of the things I definitely appreciate the most.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that for me too. Gaming, it goes back, probably 15 years or more. When I started playing online and meeting and making friends overseas, it's amazing. Getting to learn about different cultures. I do like to travel, but you don't get to travel as much as you want. In most cases, but getting to talk to different people from around the world, you learn little different things, little colloquialisms, little ways of saying and doing things, and just you learn a little bit about everybody's culture. But I think down in everybody, we all have the same sort of heart that we love to be around good people who enjoy the same things and to share those experiences together. And so it's pretty awesome. But to start, Deviant, I like to ask, and for everybody who's looking at the script, there's no questions for Deviant, so please remember your questions if you can remember. I forgot to put the questions on there. I blame Vaste. He's been, bugging me all week about the new server.
Wow.
Why shouldn't I? He'd shaved, and now you're just bombing him with this.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't take my eyes off of that middle picture down there. This video is sponsored by G-Portal. They host all of my servers, and I have to say they are pretty awesome. You can save 10% with my link in the description. Yeah, so Deviant, one of my favorite questions to ask people is just how did you come about your name? Like why did you choose that name as your name, your online alias or your character name? What's the story behind it?
It actually wasn't Deviant at first. It was Elmo Derica, which is Derek Elmo in Irish. And for obvious reasons, the same kind of personal traits, but nobody could say Elmo Derica correctly outside of Ireland.
How is it spelled? Does it have letters that don't sound at all like typical Irish random letters everywhere?
So Elmo is Elmo, and then Derica is Dorcha.
Yeah.
So it was just torture. And I was just like, I've got to one point I was like, I need to change this. And then I was like, well, and somebody told me, a friend of mine, after I got my gaming PC, I giggled like a little lunatic. And he was like, it's such a devious laugh that you had. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you just took that guy out and you just laughed like you were evil. And then it's just devious laugh. And then Deviant came about and just kind of, just more of a personal reflection on how I act when I play video games sometimes. Most of the time I'm nice and friendly and stuff. And then there's other times where I just get like an idea in my head and I go with it and I cause trouble. Or shenanigans ensue, really. Actually, yeah. I'll have an idea, and something just goes horribly wrong, but it always comes good. No map, or not no map, hardcore survival, Catholic, when we were playing, would just go, Deviant, we need an idea, and then I would just go up with something random to do. Just follow through.
Those are the best kind of adventures in Valheim, is creating your own like challenge or content. Just say, let's try this thing.
Or not even that. Like, I just see something that's clearly a terrible idea, and I'm just like, let's just do it. Let's just go. That huge fueling camp. Let's just go for it, man. Ride in on loxes, knowing full well we'll just get massacred. Like low gear. Yeah, it's fine. Totally okay.
We'll be okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we have a lot of bad ideas in the server, so we have competition here.
Yeah.
Well, and Deviant, so obviously you're from Ireland, right? What part of Ireland are you from?
I'm from the West, County Galway.
Okay.
From just outside of the city. I say city, it's like a village or a town, a small town in America. Actually, a village in America, maybe a town in Europe. That's where I'm from. Sorry, I don't have a Jacksepticeye accent. He's like Midlands or something. Yeah, the accents are incredibly different when you actually get to know people from Ireland. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Thankfully, good place. It's a good place to be in Ireland.
Well, that's good.
Rains a lot though. Yeah.
Doesn't. That's good for some people. I mean, I love the rain myself, but I know a lot of people they hunker down inside the house and complain that they can't go outside. But I'm out there in my hippie tunic spinning around. Singing in the rain.
But that's also because you only get like 3 rainy days a year in California. So like it's not comparable to the UK or Ireland where rain is the default.
Or the Netherlands. It's raining.
Yeah, we're outside celebrating. The drought won't be this bad this year.
Yeah, but it's actually something people from the States have said when they come to Ireland. It's like, it's so green. And then I've only been traveling in Europe. I've never gone outside of Europe. I've never been to the US, although I'd love to. And everybody who comes over is like, it's so green. And then they show me pictures of home. It's just, the best word to describe is like brown and orange kind of hues of like landscape. I'm like,
dried.
I'm like, it's lifeless. What's going on? Maybe I have it pretty lucky. There you go.
And so what's can you tell us a bit about your gaming history? What before Valheim?
Before Valheim, there was only ever really Valheim. I like back when I was a kid, I used to play the PlayStation. Sorry, the Sega Mega Drive was the first console I played. And that was my brother's, and it was pretty old at that point. And then we got a PlayStation 2, and that's where I really got into gaming. We had an old PC, and the first PC game I played was Unreal Tournament. And for a kid, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the best thing to grow up with. Obviously, running around, guns blazing, blowing up things, being a little lunatic. Yeah, it's actually exactly where I started off gaming and loving it. But then, the PlayStation, like Ratchet and Clank, things like that, Sly Cooper, absolute diehard fan, just love it. And then there was a big lull for a while where I went to secondary school or high school in the US, and then college. I didn't have any real console or PC, and then eventually when I got a job, and I was like, man, I'm getting a PC. This is just before COVID hit. So I got a PC, built it, got everything really good price, COVID hit, the price of PC skyrocketed, and I was like, all right, I lucked out here big time.
Yeah. But everybody's stuck at home. Yeah. They want a better computer.
Yeah, plus a chip shortage, right? Because there was still is a bit of a chip shortage, so it was really hard to get PC parts as well for a while.
Yeah, but I just lucked out, and a friend of mine was like, this is really expensive. You sure you want to go through with this? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then a month later, I was told, yeah, you're working from home. Oh, okay. Cool. I'll just get sent home to the thing I just bought to play games with. Oh, that's no problem.
Working from home.
Yes. No, I'm pretty disciplined. I want as much as I'd like to. I'll work and then I'll play after. But as far as games then with the PC, I could play some random games, older games. I started like going back. I was like, I'm going to start playing all these, and then I tried playing like Call of Duty again and stuff like that. Didn't really love it, and then just came across Valheim with a couple of friends. And then, and the funny thing is, I never understood how people could play like World of Warcraft, the same game, over and over all the time. Didn't understand it, and then there's me just kind of going, yeah, exactly. And then I was just like, okay, I get it. I get why people will play the same game.
But that wasn't until Valheim, huh? That was the one game.
Well, I never tried World of Warcraft because I was afraid of like getting addicted to a game. And
you never got addicted to another game before Valheim?
Yeah, but there were like single player games or things like that where I'll play over and over.
Tired,
yeah. Well, I just this doesn't stop. It's weird. I can see how people become addicts.
So, how did you discover Valheim?
A friend of mine, the friend who helped me build my gaming PC, threw me into a Discord channel of a couple of his friends, actually from the south of Ireland, and one of them messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play Valheim with us?" I was like, "Yeah, cool." And there's a couple of people from the UK as well. And this was my kind of first multiplayer experience where there's a bigger group than like 3 or 4, excluding like Call of Duty or something like that. And then, we just started playing, and it was just a lot of fun. And I just that's how I got into it. Just a couple of friends, and then I kept playing it single player. Then I was like, I'm going to do this solo, and I'm going to just do all the random stuff I wanted to do. Then after a while, you're just kind of like, actually, the best part of it was, the group of people,
the multiplayer.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, and then I was watching videos on Jiroc, or Jiroc's videos, not videos on Jiroc. Or maybe I was.
Secret channel.
Yeah, it's a secret channel. So yeah. But then I just applied, and actually it was Gwen that was meant to do my meet and greet. And I was like, okay, cool. Right, gotta prepare for this. And then Rudistic reached out. He was like, yeah, I can do it instead. Yeah, just hop on. And I was like, okay. And then he was just pure chill. And I was like, yeah, I just got this PC, just whatever. And playing games and played Valheim. And then it was single player for a while. And he's like, dude, you're going to love it. You're going to love the server. And I was like, cool. I haven't seen Rudistic since. I know he's busy with life and stuff. I was just like, where did he go? What have you done to Rudistic, Gwen? He stole the meet and greet. That's how Valheim started, and I haven't looked back. And as far as like a first multiplayer or a big server group of people, I think I landed squarely on my feet, like in a pile of gold. Like it's such a lucky community, and because I've seen it, like I've been on Reddit, I've seen how other communities can be so. Yeah. Like I hear the rumors. I've had a friend of mine who played League of Legends for years, and eventually, eventually they just went, no, I'm done. And so I'm glad that I found such a great community. Trying not to choke up here.
So cute.
Yeah, there you go. People are trying to remember their questions now.
Yeah, I filled in the script while you guys were talking because I was I didn't want to get lost myself. But Bambi, can you take the next question?
Yeah. What convinced you to play on Jiroc servers?
I kind of already touched on it. Oh, go on.
Yeah.
just the fact I was playing single player, but like I loved the challenge of Valheim by itself as well. Like I would never tell somebody like, oh, it's only for multiplayer. Like definitely try it single player, especially do something silly, like don't kill any bosses, but see how far you can get. With like no glitches, because there's glitches for everything, but see how far you can get. And that's a lot of the stuff I spent doing. And I suppose, like I was just trying to, find ways to break the game, like without cheating or anything. Like, but eventually, then, like I started a new world, and I was going to build this like small village and stuff. And then eventually got to the point, I was like, oh, this isn't as fun without other people here, like playing. And then that's what really, turned me on to joining.
Nice. And do you have a favorite moment on the server?
On Jiroc servers? It was the first survival series, and it was me and Catholic, and we're cowering in a little, those wooden cabins that spawn. On day one, we were huddled in a cabin, and there's like grey dwarfs running around, and both of us are naked with nothing, I think, a club or a torch maybe, and we're just there like gathered around a little fire inside this little wooden hut, and the two was just going, it'll be fine. We're going to get through this. Catholic, who had played on the playground for months at this point, had forgotten all the basics of starting from scratch. I wasn't too bad. I just joined the servers, and I just finished a single player run through as well. So I was remembering this stuff, and Catholic was like, what materials do we need? And I was like, we need flint. What? Flint? Oh, I forgot about flint, and just things you completely forgot about. And it was actually so much fun. I thought that was actually, that's probably one of my best favorite moments. Like there's plenty of others that I can't remember. But yeah, I think it was just the moment of, I joined the server, and I was like, you know what, here with somebody, and we're screwed. Like we were screwed. We had nothing, and we were going to get absolutely obliterated when we walked outside that door. But it was fun, and I think later on, it was me and Catholic, and we've been joined by Remnar, I think, and we'd found a grey dwarf tower, and there was 2 trolls that just spawned nearby, and then Jiroc flew overhead, and I was like, he didn't spawn 2 trolls for content. And then looking back, as I watched the stream, it was like the beginning stream, and I looked back, and he actually hadn't. 2 trolls just came over the hill. Like they obviously heard us building, and then Jiroc showed up recording, and we were just like, no way.
See, you can't blame me for everything.
Can't blame you for everything. No. But yeah. So yeah, that was, to be honest, it was pretty funny. We were just, I like it instantly. I went, all right, let's get the trolls to harvest copper, and 10. That didn't work out. That didn't work out at all. They didn't work out. Yeah, no, it was pretty fun. I think that was probably one of my. I think the thing I'd definitely associate with the servers, that the first time just going through a very tough situation and pulling through. We actually did. We pulled through pretty well.
So I have another question for you, Deviant. If there's a Valheim fan out there watching who's not already a member of our community, what would you say to them if they still if they were wondering if they should join this community as opposed to another community? What's maybe one reason why you would say this is a good community to give a try?
Morning Darkness is hot.
Yes, I second that. And that should be all you need to know that this is the best server to join.
It's solid. It's a completely solid reason. I see no other. There you go.
Yeah, you get to join weirdos like us. What's not to like?
I love it. Perfect. Yes.
There you go. No, to be honest, the people, whatever about Valheim, whatever about the servers, you'll never come across just such a decent bunch. And nobody ever wants to see anybody else like, struggle, or, if you need something, like it's just, and there's Discord channels galore. There's so much, and you just go, yeah, think about jumping on No Map, or thinking about jumping on Survival, or thinking about going on the playground doing this, or, my favorite line where I tell people is, "Guys, I've got an idea," and then
everyone runs away.
that usually doesn't. Actually, it either ends up with something kind of going like, "Oh, well, this is amazing. Look what we've done," or, "Yeah, we've all died." Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, it's definitely the people. Just 100%. People first. The content, then for the game itself, probably second to none. Like, there's nothing better than just going on a server and it still happens in the playground server, the base server. I'll be just going around. Oh yeah, actually the other day I was showing Lord Nico around. He's one of our new starters. On the server, giving me the tour, showing me around, and I hadn't been to the spawn area on the playground for a while. Work was busy, so I hadn't been on for like a week, and I hadn't been in Naomi or starting town. And I was like, okay, grand. Portal to spawn, show up, and there's trees everywhere. And just for context, there was no trees. The trees have been cut down, or forests have been cut back a little bit, but there was just trees everywhere. And I was like blown away, like, so welcome to the look at the trees, man. This is nuts. Going, I genuinely was just more blown away with the trees at that point. I was like, man, there's so much good stuff, and here's me, like this plonker from Ireland, just going, trees. But
I agree with you. So the whole tree thing, for context, is the spawn. So we found out on the last which stream was it? The 1 year anniversary of the server.
Yeah.
We did that walk from spawn to Naomi, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, there's trees everywhere." And I was like, "Yeah." I asked on Discord if someone wanted to lend a hand and reforest a bit, because it was completely empty. All the trees had been chopped down. And then Jiroc told us that it was him at the very first days of the server before he actually opened it up for people. Yeah, you told us, we have it on stream, we have proof, that you used the cheat hammer. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but you gave that meadows the business and there was no trees left.
Yeah.
And
it looked a bit testing.
Yeah. And it looked a bit sad. So I was like, it's, whenever new players come into the server and they see spawn, they see there's like a couple of cool builds, and then this long road that takes you to Naomi. But apart from that, you look left and right to the road and there's nothing. It's just like empty meadows. But it's empty of everything. It doesn't even have rocks or anything, thanks to the hammer. And so I was like, oh yeah, this is a bit depressing. And then you arrive to Naomi, which is a mind-blowing thing in itself because of the whole town and
when
so
it loads.
When it eventually loads.
Yeah. There used to be trees outside Naomi that people have planted, and I'm one of the people that start chopping all of them because to reduce distances. So,
but it doesn't reduce that much.
Back and forward. It actually does. The trees counts a lot. Each tree counts for a lot of distances.
No, I think each tree is one instance, that's one of the things I checked, because I was like, okay, there's a lot of trees now, which is great. I asked for it, but I was like a bit worried about the instance count, and the instance count hasn't increased a whole bunch from the new trees. So maybe with the recent patches, maybe they sorted a few things, but yeah, it's not too bad now. So you can rest at ease, right?
I think my hammer got
clean again. This is a back and forward. It's clean again, so there's no tree now.
Are you kidding? Oh no, Wesley. What have you done?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me this time. I was the previous one before the new plant team. And after Jiroc destroyed everything. But this is a back and forward. Take tree out, plant tree in. Take tree out.
I think we started a war on the like a silent war on the server, where there's the pro tree people, and that I'm part of, to be clear, and then there's the anti trees. And I think it's going to be this thing now where people are going to come in, plant new trees. The other group will come, chop the trees, and so on and so forth.
There will always be more wood.
Of course.
anti-tree is gonna lose.
Yeah, I agree, Bambi.
Yeah,
I think it
to
really
be honest,
comes down to pro instances or anti instances.
I told you, I didn't see
know
much
it's not very
change.
Yeah.
high.
It hasn't changed much.
Yeah.
I agree with Gwen because I reference Naomi as my instance. Like, okay, I shouldn't build
The limit.
anything more than this. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and then my
Unless you want to
current
lag.
yeah, exactly. Especially when you play globally, you have lag from just client to server.
Being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vastly. And
I like everyone when I log in, especially when I open my map.
Oh.
My map it breaks the server.
although Gwen, you can't really talk. I've seen a short video of you and a certain Valheim with Ironbeard and blowing, and I'm pretty sure I was on the server that day and I had this massive lag spike. I was like, what was that? And then I like, it was just later on, like during the week, I was like, that's Gwen is a little short up. I'll watch this. The whole thing comes down like that's what it was. That must have been.
I wanted to try the cheat hammer, and we had a build that had been abandoned for months from a player who's not on the server anymore. And it was just this kind of, it was a big build. It had a lot of stone. It was in the middle of the ocean, and it was like within render distance of someone else's base. So we thought, you know what, let's just destroy it and, you know, move the materials out. And so I was like, you know what, that is a fun test to try the cheat hammer. So I did. But as I said, it was quite a big build with a lot of stone and a lot of wood. And the moment the hammer hits and everything explodes, obviously, when one item like a stone wall explodes, it creates as many instances as there is drops. And there was a lot of drops on that build. So my screen completely froze for like a good 30 seconds, I think. And I was like, did I just crash the server or crash my game? Like, what happened? It was just nothing moved. And then it was fine. But yeah, good to know that I like the whole server.
That it hadn't actually been abandoned.
Yes, morning doctors.
Yeah.
There was that. But the person wanted to get rid of that build anyway, so I guess I did them a favor, except I took the materials away. So yeah.
Well, that's the fun way to remove them. Of course, we have an admin commands where you can just type it in and it'll remove the pieces just instantly blink out of existence. But yeah, giving the ground the business and having all the pieces explode and freeze your computer was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well,
it wasn't you who had bought the build, was it?
I think it was Carolus.
No. Carolus. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And I just want to take a quick break from the show to share with you one of my sponsors, the Grimfrost, an amazing company that sells really, really cool Viking products. They have over 1,000 different modern and historical Viking products. If you're interested, you should check them out. I have a link in the description, or you can go to my website, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. Now back to the show.
Well, Gwen, can you tell us where you, well, first off, welcome back. You've been gone from the podcast for 2 weeks. Just busy with work or life, or what's going on over there?
What was going on? I was on holidays 2 weeks ago. Went to Wales, into a hut, very much like my hut in the game, which was lovely. In the middle of nowhere. It was great.
Yeah, the pictures of that were so cool.
Yeah, it was like, it's literally a circular lodge. It was like a hunting lodge from the 18th century, apparently, that was reconverted in a small Airbnb. And yeah, stayed there for a couple of days in that tiny hut that also had a wooden hot tub. I felt very much like I was living my real life Valheim in real life. And it was lovely. So 2 weeks ago I missed because I was on holidays, and then last week I was just super busy with work. And yeah, couldn't make it. But I'm here now.
Is that a picture that we could share with people?
Yeah, I could. Hold on. Do you want me to send? Do you have it? I think I DM'd you the pictures, right?
Yeah, I have it already. I just need to pull it up. Can you describe the hut as I'm pulling it up here?
Yep. I'll do the audio-visual description. It is, so as I said, it's a cute little circular hut. Oh, not hut. It's a cottage, but it's kind of circular. It was used as a hunting lodge, I think, because it is really in the middle of the countryside. And it has a really cute thatched roof on it, like very like English cottage style, I guess. But it's really unusual. Like the shape of it is unusual, and I really like how like the doors and windows. And so I was so inspired by that place. I was like, I really want to try to build this in Valheim.
Yeah,
but I haven't had the time to yet. But yeah, it was very cute. Tiny, but pretty good. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
And you're wearing a witch's costume, and I'm wearing my Viking tunic with a few knickknacks on it.
Hippie.
Yes. Yeah. So, let me go. So, I got my tunic on. I got a few things here, but yeah, with my hat and sunglasses, I was walking around the house, and my wife saw me. She said, "You look more like a hippie than a Viking." Then you take it off, then you look more like a Viking. But I did get this one neat little thing at the Viking fair. This little knife on my.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how authentic it is, but it was it's a hand forged little knife, just kind of a fun little trinket that's on a little leather necklace. And
nice.
Gwen hasn't seen this, I don't think, but it's my Grimfrost.
The Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer. Give him the business. Boom.
Nice.
But Gwen, are you? Can you? Is there any more to your witch's costume to share, or are we seeing most of it there?
No, I've got a second, more pointy hat. If you want me to put that
up
on.
to you.
This is the hat that I could just actually wear on the street in the UK. No one would bat an eye. It's actually, it's not too bad. And this is the really the plasticky costumey one.
Oh, there you go.
The proper, which is
I like how you just have like hats around your desk.
Yeah.
You know what? So don't get me started on that. I have a whole cupboard. I think I need a whole room for all the accessories and stuff. It's an obsession. It's not, and half of it I don't even remember buying. So I don't know how I amassed that stuff. They just my house is like a magnet for those things.
Use.
I looked at because next weekend or this coming weekend, my sister's visiting, and we're going to a cool like immersive experience thing in London. And for that, we have to wear costumes. So yesterday, I was frantically taking everything out of that cupboard to find accessories and try to piece a costume together with stuff I already have. And my God, I have so many hats. So many hats. I have a hat for every occasion. I swear, I have a hat for every costume. So I have 2 witches hats. I've got like 2 pirate hats. I've got that Timo hat that I was showing you guys earlier. There's just so many hats.
Yeah, I save all my costumes from over the years too, in case I want to recycle back. But I love dressing up around Halloween, so I always end up with a new costume. At some point, I'll have to like take one piece from each costume and just throw it all together. Just be this weird amalgamation of stuff, and you'll be able to identify.
Yeah, it's becoming that way. But I have a lot of hats to the point where I was like, I might as well make use of them. So I might start just wearing a different hat on each stream or each Podheim episode until I run out.
Well, to be honest, you have a good head for hats. Some people can wear hats. Some people don't.
Oh, I don't know. You
able to wear hats. Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to be like 300 Podheims in later, and it's like she still has
still
a different hat every time.
Yeah,
that could be a challenge.
I never wear hats. Yeah, I'm happy to take on the challenge.
Thing is, I love hats.
Oh yeah, you have to try different hats. Yeah,
I thought about wearing a different hat each episode, but you gotta have the signature hat.
You and I.
Maybe I'll do a hat change real quickly during the episode.
No. We do a challenge where every week from today we have to wear a different hat, and the first one who repeats a hat loses.
Loses.
Yes. Yes.
That
We'll
could be
have
a
to
fun
judge it.
challenge.
And we'll have to have the audience, the people who watch Podheim on YouTube will have to judge and call us out if you wear a hat twice.
Yeah,
Yes.
see if they notice.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I love this.
What does the loser have to do?
You have
Make
to buy
their own hat.
you have to make a hat.
Make a hat. But the most ridiculous hat, like something really, really ridiculous. Or they have to make a hat designed by the other person. Yes. Yes.
You have to wear a hat that I design, or I have to wear a hat you design? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I have. If you lose, you have to wear a hat that I design.
Oh, okay.
and you have to make it. I'll design it. You make it and you wear it. Or you find it if you can find it online.
So I have another announcement to make, and it's a correction. I haven't done many video corrections, but let's bring this picture up. So last week, myself and a bunch of people reported on this picture. You guys remember this picture?
Oh yeah.
With the new boat or the old boat?
The new old boat, yeah. That has the rowers' seats here and the little barrel in the background right there. So after I did a whole video on it, and it actually got a lot of attention, but a bunch of people from the video called it out and said, I think that's an old picture. So of course I asked Smithy about it, and he says, yep, that's an old picture they released from Hearth and Home. There's no new ship and that barrel won't be buildable.
Oh,
So
disappoint.
Sad days.
It was an October Fool's video. But hey, I blame them for releasing Valheim news with an old picture with teaser stuff in the image. That's not my fault.
They should make it now.
They should absolutely make it, and then put shields on the boat for us too, since they did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the model already anyway.
Yeah.
They've also added now. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, and buildable barrels with storage. So that's my correction for the week. And let's see, what other announcements do we have? Oh yeah, so we have Jiroc's modded playground. It's a new permanent modded Valheim server. It launches this Friday. It'll actually launch 12 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to do the math on that or Google it.
Yeah, it will be a few hours after the release of the podcast.
Yep.
Yes. And
sign up now.
Yeah, if you join my Discord server, you can go look at the events widget at the top. Everybody has access to it, and it announces the exact time and day that it launches on Friday. So you can, and it should correct for your time zone. So you don't have to do the math there to switch it over. But just some of the new things on the server. I actually toured the server last night with Kondo for quite a while, and there's some amazing things on there. Things like there's going to be NPCs, so non-player characters, human Vikings around the world, especially in the starter town where when you first land, there's a little starter town there. There's going to be quests. There's already some starter quests, and great thing with that system is Vaste and Kondo, I know, already have a bunch of ideas, and I'm sure other people are giving them more quest ideas, but they can add quests throughout the life of the server. So that'll be fun. There's new professions, which are kind of like skills, but they basically give you access to new things you can build and do in the game. And if you have a higher level in that profession, then you can do it better than somebody else, like navigating, like sailing ships. There's Vaste, how many new ships do we have in the modded server? There's like 6 or 7. There's quite a few.
More or less, yes.
Oh, wow.
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a lot of surprise.
A lot of
that
surprises.
you won't see coming. Yeah.
That's what you should have said for the video correction. Is like, oh, Iron Gate isn't releasing a new ship, but we are on the modded server. You get 5 new.
We'll be in the modded server.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cut to you saying that, Gwen. When I
I have
maybe
to say,
the barrel too.
What's that, Morning?
I was going to say I did hop on yesterday. I didn't leave the starter area, but I hopped on just to see how far I could get with the starter quests and check out the stuff. And oh my goodness, it is so cool. It is a totally different game, and I was having a blast. I even, I was testing the limits, I was testing the edges. I died. I tamed something.
Something mysterious.
Crashed the game. It was great. It was great. I was testing the limit.
The full Valheim experience then.
That was my fault, actually. I checked what happened and it was my fault. I was doing changes and she was on the server.
Yeah. In addition, there's also new mounts. So you could be able to ride different things around the world that you can find.
Yes.
Bambi's already like, can I ride deer? Can I ride deer?
Can I ride a deer? Hold it by the antlers.
To be honest, I'm almost sorry. It's my boys' their birthday that Saturday.
No, Baby's like, happy birthday. Here's your cake. I'll be playing Valheim. Go play with your friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots and lots of new creatures, new build items. Oh my goodness. That was one of the things I really told Kondo that I want. I said, there are some great mods that add some new build items, because I too, I love to decorate, and I know that we have a lot of people that love to decorate, and Valheim just doesn't have quite enough to decorate. We kind of have to mishmash things and make decorations out of the things that weren't really meant to be made into decorations. But there's a bunch of cool new build items, all kinds of like statues and little placeable items and bookshelves, and wait till you see it. It's really cool. Let's see. And some new weapons, some new armor, and like some new clothes type armor too.
Yes.
Just as a teaser, there's a noble set. Isn't it called Noble, Vaste?
Yeah, it's called Noble.
Yeah, there's like a noble outfit. It's Noble's outfit. It's really cool looking, but and just tons of stuff. There's too much to go all through here. So if you're interested, come on over to our server, JirocTheViking.com.
Check it out.
You can talk to our people on our Discord. Links are on my website, and it launches this Friday. And it's the best thing. It's a permanent server. As permanent as any server can be. Our main vanilla server has been running for just over a year, so we hope that the modded server will run for a while, and so people can build up and feel secure in the fact that their builds will be around for a while to enjoy and share. Mm-hmm. And then let's see, coming up on Wednesday, October 26th, is a graveyard build competition. Be sure to tune in for that. It's actually, of all the build competitions we've had over the last year, this is one of my most, I'm so excited about this. I love Halloween. I love the spooky stuff, and I'm so excited to see what people do for this one. Anybody here building for the graveyard build competition?
Yes.
Bambi is.
I am.
Oh, Bambi.
Not finished yet. No, it's a bit too big maybe, but yeah.
A bit?
You know me. I never overdo it.
I might do a last minute entry, but
nice.
Not sure if I make it.
Well, yeah,
it's going to leave it to
8 days from recording, but even less by the time the podcast comes out. So you get busy. And if you're interested, come on over to the server, and maybe you can throw something together real quick too if you join us. And
we'll be streaming that, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So
can't wait to see your costume for that one. Are you gonna dress up as a tombstone? That would be fun. Just take a big cardboard box and just like cut your face, cut a hole for you. I really want to do it now.
Darn, you gave away my surprise.
Having ideas that I don't have time to execute.
Yeah,
I know.
New hat for when?
New hat.
A tombstone hat.
A tombstone hat. It could just be the front face of it. You don't have to do it 3-dimensional, right? You could just cut out and have the little band that goes around.
Yeah.
You know,
Skeleton
the
costume.
front 2-dimensional tombstone right there in front.
Yeah. Yeah. With some fun inscriptions.
Yeah, there you go. But so what's going on in Valheim news this week? Gwen, did you see it?
Yes, there is a new team member that the Iron Gate team brought on to do effects. They announced on I saw it on Instagram, but I think they announced it on all their socials. They have posted something saying this week we welcome Andrea to the Valheim team. She'll be our new VFX artist and will help make the game even prettier. And there's an image of a character in game as a very cool looking Viking.
Yeah.
Or shield maiden. And yeah, so it's great. Iron Gate is expanding the team. I know they had hired a bunch of developers since the game started. The game was so successful, and looks like they're expanding the design team as well.
Yeah,
Very exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome because it just means that more content quicker or better content, right? Because there's more people to work on it. But still controlled. They're still keeping it small enough so they can keep the vision and the quality control. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. So new videos posted by us this week. I mentioned in the other announcement, I did a long ship upgrade and barrels video, buildable barrels. And it's not. Yeah. Just forget that video. Pretend you never saw it.
It happens. I mean, all of that is speculation anyway. We can only speculate. Yeah. So, sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong. I'll definitely get it right for the full damage reduction cape. No matter what other people say on this podcast, I'm pretty sure that one I'll get right, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Just gliding down with your cape.
I'm with Team Gwen on that one.
I really hope for that too.
Well, Gwen, what have you been streaming? Did you stream a couple of times over the last couple of weeks while you were missing from the podcast?
I did. I'm literally logging onto my channel just to check because I can't remember. It's been a while. Oh, damn. Yeah, last video I posted was 10 days ago. Oh.
Was that the one where you were chased by the Kraken?
That was no. So I posted a couple of shorts, which are basically clips taken from my streams. But the last stream I did was, so in the last 2 weeks I did, so we had the 1 year anniversary of the server. I think we mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. Then I did episode 12 of my no map playthrough on season 2 of Jiroc's no map server. We're still looking for Yaglis. Still looking. It's it's like we had the same thing with bone mass where it took me 3-4 streams, 4 hours of streaming each time. So yeah, a very long time to find bone mass. And it turns out that we had sailed past the swamp, the big swamp where bone mass is, like 45 minutes into that search. But yeah, it took us a lot of swamp exploration to come back to that place and realize, oh, it was here all along. So I think, for now, so now we're really stopping at every plains we see, no matter the size. But the weird thing is we still haven't seen any of those Vic visitors. So that's what we were looking for initially. We were looking for those stone formations to see if we could find at least a location. But we haven't even come across those. So yeah, like 3-4 streams later and many fueling villages raided, we're still looking for Yaglis. So yeah, there's that. And that was quite a long stream. I think I did 5 hours on that one until we gave up. And then I did, so I posted a couple of shorts, just some fun clips out of those adventures. And I also posted 10 days ago a video about all the banners in Valheim, kind of showcasing all the different types of banners now that we have a bunch of new ones and new colors, and with the recipes for each one, how to make them. Yeah, it was not one of my planned videos. I have lots of videos that I've been working on for months and months. I need to just find the time to edit and post. But that one, it just came to my mind. I was like, oh, I wanted to do similar videos on other topics and other categories of items. And then I was like, oh, banners. Then I Googled it. I searched on YouTube if there was any other video, because I was basically trying to see like an image of all the banners, all the different colors, so that when I need to decorate, I have like a visual reference. And I couldn't find anything, not even, not even images. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a video, because I'm sure there's other decorators out there that probably want to see just them all, in one go. And yeah, that's how that came about. And I want to do more of those types of videos, because I know it's tricky sometimes when you're trying to decorate something and you know in your head what you want to make, but you're trying to find items that you could decorate with and you could twist a little bit to make work for what you're trying to do. So for example, if you're trying to get a build of a certain color, or, color schemes, or a certain vibe, sometimes you have to go think a little bit outside the box, look at all the items that are in the game and see what could be kind of adjusted to make work. But sometimes it's hard, because I always end up having to do loads of Google image searches of all the items, or like open the build menu, look through every single one to be like, oh, could this be used for that? And yeah, it takes time. So I thought I'll start doing compilations of those items. So next one that I had already made the footage for, I just didn't yet do the voiceover or editing, is all the food items in game. So just all displayed on a table for if you want to decorate a table, but you're not sure like what all the items that you could decorate with. At some point I might do some that are like all the items of a certain color, or all the glowing items. So when you're trying to do some nice light effects, all the meads and other trophies and all the items that glow and that you could use for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's future plans. But yeah, I will be streaming at some point this week, probably tomorrow, actually. So by the time this podcast comes out, there might be season 13 of maybe we'll find Yagluth this time. Maybe not. We'll see.
And you have a Halloween stream planned as well, right? Of video.
I wanted to make a couple of Halloween themed videos, but it's just finding the time to make them that is challenging. I'll definitely be streaming the graveyard competition, and I'm really hoping that that I'll get some time to put another video out. But yeah, it's just finding the time to do all these things.
Yeah. Too many ideas, not enough time to execute them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Morning Darkness, what about you? What have you been doing over on Twitch the last week?
Oh boy. I also have been doing a no map. We just did episode 21. And we keep saying we're going to look for Yagluth, and then we need to gear up some more, and we need to make some more, upgrade the armor. And then I got completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
It was the worst lost I've ever been in no map. It was amazing. I was on the wrong mountain. So yeah, that was exciting. And then I've done a couple of different builds for within the community that has been joining me. I helped one person on building his castle, building a tower. And I recently added a new channel point redemption to my stream, where if you watch a certain amount of time, you earn points, and then you can make me do stuff. And Bambi, I think you might like this one. I recently added a song to the stream.
Mm.
And it's Pippin's song to the Regent of Gondor, the Steward of Gondor.
Wow.
Mist and Shadow. So
nice.
in the last two streams, not last night, but the 2 nights before that, they redeemed that song 14 times.
Oh, I was going to say, you have to choose so carefully your songs so you don't get sick of it, because if it's just one song and people can redeem it after a while, yeah.
14 times.
So how much do you hate the song now?
No, I learned the song more than okay. When it came out on VHS, I watched the tape over and over and over again, just that one segment, probably 10 or 12 times, just to learn the song. So if that gives you any indication of how much I like it, anyway. But that was hilarious. And then I also am helping another person. He's doing a whole spooky build on his server. So I was helping him build a tree shrine.
Of course, trees are
spooky
involved.
Tree shrine.
I was waiting for a tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
When is there not a
just
tree
wait.
involved?
if I get some extra time this weekend, the graveyard competition
Graveyard with trees.
may or may not have or trees in a graveyard or
Yeah.
Tree house.
graves and tree.
Graves in the tree.
Graves
Oh.
of trees. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
Tree graves. Yeah.
Every holiday needs a tree. Halloween tree, Thanksgiving tree.
yes,
Of course, you got
yes,
Christmas tree.
yes.
Then you got
You
Valentine's
get me.
tree and New Year's
You
trees.
get me,
and-
Jiroc. You get me. And then I did do episode 3 of my rogue run, which is basically permadeath, but with the same character. But if you die, you start a new world.
Oh, yeah.
And ditch all your gear. And I made it the furthest I've ever made it last night on World 3.
Nice. How far did
Nice.
you make it?
Day 10, I emptied 2 burial chambers and got a significant start on a base going, which before I didn't really build a base. I just sort of like built half a shack and then was, I'll come back to this, I'll keep building on it. No, I've like dedicated time to building this. I
And
survived.
what killed you? Oh, no, you
Oh,
survived.
gosh.
You survived. But what
I've
killed you
survived.
the time before?
Okay, so the last 2 deaths. The first death was a death to a 2-star Grey Dwarf Shaman in the Dark Forest at night.
That'll get you.
Because I
That's
was
the
trying
poison,
to get
right?
Yeah.
I was trying to get the
Poison pick.
thistle. I was trying to get thistle because they were about to take away the maypoles.
Thistle. Always need thistle.
And then the second death, I went into a burial chamber. I was feeling, pretty confident. I had just gone into one and I'd done really well. I go into this other one and it was either a 1-star or a 2-star skeleton. And I got shot twice and my armor ripped. So literally ripped my shirt off my character. And I thought I had like backed up enough to get away. And no, I died. It was terrible.
Oh, no.
Must make it a
Should've just
little
run
more
away. I should've
exhilarating.
just disengaged until I had better gear, but no, I went back in.
It must be really exhilarating, more so than normal Valheim, when you know that if you die, you're done. So every time you come close, you're like, get away, run away.
Yep. It's nerve-wracking. But yeah.
Cool.
But
Well,
so
awesome.
much fun.
I could just imagine like upgrading like my wooden club, which I've never done. Like the,
Oh, yeah.
the initial weapons, like I really need to upgrade that stuff because if I die,
Yeah.
I'll lose it all. My wooden
Yeah.
club. Yeah. That's bizarre.
I was thinking at some point in the future, it might be fun to do a Jiroc's rogue run where I set up a server and there's a mod that will announce people's deaths so we know
Yes.
when you die. So if
Yes.
you die, it'll get announced.
For permadeath.
Yeah,
I see.
I had a mod for permadeath too, but I want to see it get announced when they die too. But we'll see who can be the last Viking standing on the
Yes.
Jiroc Rogue Run server at some point. Maybe that'll be like a good fun New Year's thing or something. We'll have to see what happens with Mistlands.
Ooh.
Maybe when people are tired and bored of Mistlands, maybe we'll do that.
It sounds a bit like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
No PvP.
Oh,
You have
yes.
to have
No,
PvP.
PvP.
Yes.
PvP.
Yes.
How about
That's
after
really
Gaglet dies, PvP gets turned on?
Yeah, there you go.
Fourth is
Oh, don't worry. That could take one
Oh.
day.
Okay, yeah. People could take the aggro.
Don't worry, we can make it happen in one day.
No, no.
Let's talk quickly about some of the server events and updates that have been going on. Morning Darkness, can you start us off?
So this week we are welcoming back Oily Josh. Welcome back.
Yeah,
Good
welcome.
to have you in.
Yeah.
And then we've got a few new members. We've got Lord Nico the Fourth, Dralin Malfet. Dralin Malfet. Got it.
Sounds good.
Lord Rob Plays All, Lil Bree, and Tiki. Welcome in, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome.
Fun to have you. Great to have you. And perfect timing, because if you're interested in a modded server, which maybe some of you, that's why you joined. That's launching this week. Actually, it'll launch today as you're listening to this video. It should be launching in a few hours from now.
You must hurry.
I'm gonna pull all
Speaking
nighter
of,
now.
can I do a sneak peek, Jiroc, or do you want it to be all a complete surprise?
I'm going to be launching a sneak peek video. I'm going to try to get it up tonight, so I'll be working on it right as soon as I'm done with the podcast. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. And then my admins Vaste, Bambi, and Gorthar have been busy on the servers running events for the players over this last week. Can you tell us a little bit about the Great Folding event that just happened? That's when our resource server resets every 2 weeks and there's an event involved. Vaste, Bambi, what was going on with that resource, the Great Folding event?
Well, Vaste, do you want to tell about the build you?
Okay, I had planning like a folding event that it will take a few days to actually be finished. It was an exploration event because of the mod server should be something simple that everyone can do without needing to be right there at right that moment. And I have a change on my doctor appointment, so I wasn't able to make it to place the first one. It's a really cool build that was made by one of our members, Sally.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
It's really cool. And the idea was to place it, give a vague clue about its location, like only the biome, and leave it there. The scene is... do you want me to say or are you going to say it?
Bambi messed up, but it looked so awesome.
What did you do, Bambi?
Have you seen the picture of the hammer, Thor's hammer?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now while you guys are talking.
So
it looked so amazing. I wanted to have a picture from far off because Sigmund, actually the new event manager, admin, helped me pick an amazing spot for it. He found the highest mountain there is on the resource server, placed it there, and it looked so amazing. I had to take a picture from far away.
Yeah.
Yggdrasil was in there as well, and a lot of no map people, players.
There's the picture that was set up for the event. This is on the top of a mountain, very top, the giant Thor's hammer embedded in, smashed into the top of the mountain. And then I have a close-up picture too from one of the players.
Yeah,
check that out. Look at the detail on that thing. Here, let me move it over.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
It still doesn't do justice. It's huge.
Yeah,
it's
good.
So who built this?
Sally, one of the members that won the free mount on the 10K stream.
Oh wow, fantastic job, Sally.
Yeah, but the Nomad players just saw the giant tree, Yggdrasil, of course, and they pinpointed straight away where it was.
We just saw it. Yeah, we literally. I think Magni. He was just on. All right,
nice.
we pinged the map. We were like, yeah, it's around here.
Nice.
We weren't far off. We just sailed, and then we saw the mountain, and we're like, it's that mountain. The mountain.
Nice.
I think I came back. I was able to log in like 1 hour after the folding, and I was saying, "Hey, have you found the hammer?" And they told me, "Yeah, we found it like half an hour ago. It was really easy." I was like, it should have been done.
It should have
after
been
few days.
a no fighting event, but yeah, I was there on my alter ego Hell, and they located it so fast I had to spawn in some mobs for them as well. They really enjoyed that.
Shame on you for finding it fast. Fight these monsters.
Yeah.
But it was fun because they were asking me like, oh, come on, Bambi or Hell, where is it? And the actual notice said like Thor is too drunk to find it again. I got to play a really drunk Hell. That was really funny. They asked me a lot of things. I have no idea.
But if you played it backwards, it's exactly the location of where it was.
Yeah.
Didn't need the image at all. Mm-hmm.
So did you end up removing the original one and placing a new hammer somewhere else in the world for them to find again?
Yes, I removed it and placed a new one in a different location in a mountain, and the picture doesn't show the tree.
Nice. That's amazing though. That's genuinely like, oh, the Nomad folks.
That's
I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud, even though I wouldn't be one of the people who would have pinpointed it because I'm still a bit useless on Nomad. But I'm proud of the Nomad crew.
You should be.
Yeah, if you're familiar with that, the layout of the tree in the sky and which direction it runs, you can pretty much, if you can see it in a picture, you can kind of guess where the photo was taken.
That looks like it's slightly northwest of Spawn.
The other thing is you could tell the way the sun is pointing.
Yeah.
The sun changes throughout the day, so you know what time the photo was taken.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're actually quite close to the tree as well, it means the mountain is really, really big, really tall.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the tree is normally further away, a lot further away.
We saw that mountain, and it was behind another mountain. Like it was that tall, like it was huge.
Everybody was in awe. Like nobody has ever seen such a tall mountain on any map before.
Well, and you ran another event, didn't you, Bambi?
Yeah, I always said I wouldn't make an alter ego, but I did, and I kind of like it. My alter ego is Hell, and she busted somebody that broke into a treasury. Of course, she found the person and where he stashed the things he stole. So I did a mountain cave with a lot of treasure in there. And a lot of people, went for it, and that was really nice. But I joined as well as Hell to make it interactive.
Yeah.
And by that you mean spawning mobs?
Yeah, if it was too easy, I was like, we need more difficulty here.
Yep.
And when they actually...
She was playing Hell, she was summoning them.
Yes.
Not spawning them. She was summoning
from
them.
the underworld.
Yes.
And in the meanwhile, acting like, oh, you lay your hands off my treasury and stuff like that. They got it all. And then they thought they were safe and were able to leave the cave like, the sling? No. Because Hell actually, caught them stealing the treasury. So I summoned more mobs for them to fight. But I got a lot of compliments about that. So yeah, that was amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. It was actually a great event.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dialing in those events, the newer admins dialing in events. That's awesome. I remember when I started spawning for events, I didn't have all the really cool mods that we have access to now. So I didn't have as much control over what I was doing. But, and then, you sort of learn to refine how everything and how much to spawn and at what levels so as not to overwhelm the players. But it's awesome that you guys are out there having fun with it.
And we have, of course, a lot of admins that are experienced as well, and they teach us very, very well. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about one of our favorite segments. This is, I know, Gwen's favorite because she has so many things on her list that she wants to change about this game. Just doesn't live up to her witch standards. witch hats, right? That's what we need.
Yeah, I almost put that, and then I was like, oh, but it's a bit unoriginal, and we already have the turnips, the jack-o'-lantern turnips, the jacko turnips. That's what they're called. Which, by the way, they haven't put back in the game yet. I'm sad.
Know.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that too.
It's not in the public test either, which is kind of weird.
They're my favorite.
I think they're going to give it to us like the week before, probably Monday. So you're listening to a podcast on Friday. I bet you Monday they released the patch for that.
That's another thing that was shocking in the public test. They released a different day the dev log, and now they are saying it's going to be on Monday this month.
What is a patch that they're testing?
The dev log they always post each month.
Yeah.
So they saying now we need one on the Monday.
Yep.
Because they publish them on different day of the weeks.
Yeah. Well, and Halloween's only a week from this coming Monday? Or no, 2 Mondays.
Yep.
Yeah. But before you go and spam your whole world or builds with those Jacko turnips, just be aware that they are very high instances. As we found out after we put loads in Naomi, and we were like, I wonder why we have like 1,000 more instances out of a sudden. And it's because it's fire. So like the torches, they emit fire and smoke effects, and that just adds loads of instances.
Yeah. More lag. But if you have a smaller build, then you can go crazy with them.
Small build, you're funny.
So things we would like to see changed or added to Valheim Morning Darkness.
Yeah, so I've actually been helping people work on windows in their builds lately, and I would love more options to do with the crystal. So as things stand right now, you can't stack crystal on top of itself. And I wish that there was a way that, they had, window panes that you could insert crystal into or not, or, any number of different things. And that would be really nice.
Nice.
You can stock crystal with iron in them.
Yeah, but it's different because it adds an extra number of grids, and the crystal already isn't very see-through. And it just, I'd like the each crystal piece to be framed or something, so that you could have, a little bit more open and have like the thinner outlines.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to check out the Modi server.
I wasn't allowed to leave the blue area, so I couldn't build anything.
That area is protected from building. Yep.
Yep.
Well, it's all left to be surprised for the admins as well. And Deviant, if you had a magic button you could push to change or add something to Valheim, what would it be?
When you spend a couple of 100 hours on a game, I'm not going to say how long because it's just, I feel ashamed.
Just a couple hundred, just like 200.
Just whatever, man. It's like 15. Just the small things like getting to place, the upgrades for workbench and stuff, like placing them closer together. I've seen builds and people with mods, and I'm just like, you know what? It looks so much better, just tidy in a corner, lovely. Just small things like that, like when you play the game and you farm as long as some people have.
Yeah.
Just barley harvest, and I'm just like, just if it was 3 instead of 2 drops, I was like, it'd be such a huge difference. Just small, I think, quality of life, just small things, and I know there's plenty of mods out there for it. People not knowing what to do with all their resin, probably just burn it on torches all the time, but after a while, filling, and when you have 12,500 instance builds, people running around filling torches, Yeah, I just
Full
love
day-
that.
full-time
Yeah,
job.
yeah, full time job. Who's like a clan will have somebody called the resin master if we could have a mod for it. Like, yeah, just small things. And you'd love to see it, but if it was a big thing, I'd like to see a change. Like I'd love to see more of magic, but then like it's so hard to balance magic because it can be such. You could definitely abuse it. Like if you had like a poison spell and you just walked up poisoning everything you had that was higher than you. Well, I say that now, but ooze bombs are a thing. Yeah, like more magic, but maybe more magical weapons, or yeah, something like that.
That's interesting, the point that you're making on magic, because so I published a video a couple of months ago that was basically an extract from an interview we did with Grimcore, like 6 months ago now, where we did ask him the question. Yeah, we asked him, "Oh, do you plan to introduce more magic in the game?" And we also asked him if they would ever let your character yield magic. And you'll have to go and check out the video to get the answer. But someone posted just like yesterday, someone commented on that video. And their comment was quite an interesting take. And they were saying that they didn't personally want to wield magic in the form of spells in Valheim because the elemental magic that exists fits with the creatures in that they have become separated from the rest of the worlds, tethered to the true gods. So the magic as it stands in the game is like there's the Fulings and Fuling shamans and Yaguluth and its powers and all of that. Then there's the Grey Dwarf shamans, and that's about it. So you have shamans of different kinds that that tap into different sorts of magic. And I guess this person who commented said that essentially it would be weird if us as players in the game got to yield that same magic than those creatures. I think it would take away from some of the mystique of those other creatures and the magic that they use. And yeah, another thing that they mentioned was that the feel of the game lends itself to the further development of ways to defend against the magic used by the bad guys. So potion, meads, armor, and things crafted with magical drops from bosses feel like it fits well with the champions of Odin using their warrior status and strength skills to resist the bad magic. So their take is basically that like magic is for the mobs and for the bad guys, the people that we fight in the game. And us as Vikings, we should basically stick to proving our strengths to Odin in different ways. And it's that kind of separation between, magic being a thing of the gods and us not being gods, essentially. Just an interesting take.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good take on it. Kind of need to like back that up with lore. Although I've seen your video, I know the one you're exactly talking about. It's the one with the interview with Robin, I think.
Yeah, with Grimcore, Robin. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But I still like the idea of there being more magic in the game. Not by us then, but just...
Well, yeah, maybe we'll see that with the Mistlands. I really hope that with new biomes, we get new opportunities for more creatures, more lore. I think what I really liked about with the Greylings to a degree, but more so with the Fulings, is that there's more to their story. You know that they're a civilization. They're like they live in societies and so on, and some of them yield magic, and it's that whole kind of story behind it that you guess by seeing the villagers and seeing how they interact and so on. And I really like that because it's like, oh, there's mystery to it. There's something else. It feels like world building. So I hope that there's more of that with the new biomes for sure. But yeah, I do, even though I kind of agree that, if we started using spells and stuff, it would take away of the a bit of the immersion of like being Vikings against the elements of that cruel world. But I do like the idea of having maybe a couple of items in game that allow you to do like spell. We already have potions, which are kind of a little bit magical, not very magical, but they have.
We have ooze bombs. Magic ooze bomb. Magic ooze bomb.
We have buke berries.
I mean, that's not magic. That's just berries.
Yeah, that's not magic. No.
Those exist in real life too.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh,
But I do like the idea of maybe items that are charged with magic that maybe you steal from. Like, imagine if you went to a fueling village and you've got those totems, maybe. And that the totems are only in villages that have the shamans. So maybe that it's something that you can do with those totems that is just a one-time thing. So maybe, with future bosses or mobs that are charged with some sort of magic, it's like an item that you steal from them or you take from, you loot from wherever they live. And it's like a one-time use magical thing where you can maybe send a spell or craft something special.
that sounds fun. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a one-time use magic wand.
Or like adding because what I was always thinking is how you have the tar mobs.
The growths.
Growths. Yeah. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Name just gone. Like just taking tar and adding it to your sword and lighting it with the torch. And I was like, oh, I just loved it. And it's not magic. It's just obviously they have that sword that's in the dev commands that you can't get. But I was like, oh, that'd be so sweet. But it'd damage your sword over time. You do fire.
There's
like
a way
magic
to take-
properties to add to items that exist.
Yeah, but it wouldn't even have to be magic. You could just get tar added to a sword. You do damage to your sword, but you do more damage with it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I see Vaste wants to say it. Check out our modded server.
I want to say it. No, but this is not the modded server. There's a way to get it in the permanent playground. The fire sword.
There is. There's one way.
There is.
There is a way to get it on our vanilla server.
Yep.
But yeah, the modded server will have ways to upgrade your gear with magical items that you can find and earn throughout the world. But Bambi, if you could change or add something to the game, what would it be?
Yeah,
George is curious.
I'm a really domestic person. I love building homes on every server I am, but it's missing one thing. That's domestic pets, like kitties. I want just a cat in my house. When I return home from battle or cooking, there's a cat wandering around, or a dog. If you're a dog person, I'm a cat person, but
just like Vaste.
Yeah,
but Vaste only likes the cats that bite him.
No, I don't know.
Oh, it sounds silly, but yeah, on the playground, the house I built, it actually feels like home on playground. So I would love to have a cat over there.
Yeah, it's fun to have little companions.
Yeah.
Well, Vaste, if you could change or add something now after playing with so many admin commands and mods, you must have all kinds of ideas. What would you change or add?
I want the magic, but I was something specific on that sense, which came from the Skyrim, from one of the DLC of Skyrim.
Yep.
And that is the ability to turn the player to turn into a werewolf and have the abilities of the werewolf.
It's kind of a Halloween
theme.
Yeah. Gwen's thinking the same thing as me.
It fits, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I say werewolf because I would want werewolf, but it could be also vampire. So that's things.
Yeah, you could turn into a bat and fly around.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
No.
Bat Viking.
I know Bane will love it.
We now know for a costume Vaste has to wear for Halloween.
Oh, yes. Except you have to do the voice too.
Yeah. Go for it.
The Christian Bale voice.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know why you're talking.
The low grumbly voice. I'm Vat Vaste. I'm Vat Vaste. Well, Gwen, what besides all the magical stuff that you and Deviant were deciding you wanted added to the game, what's something you would change or add?
So carrying on with the Halloween theme, I just made it up like 10 minutes ago. I think I want scarecrows in the game. And mostly, well, one for decoration because it would go nicely with the whole Halloween witchy theme. But also because you could put them where you keep your farm animals, and it would protect your animals from bat raids. Because damn it, those bat raids on your poor piggies are a nightmare. And there's nothing you can do other than try to lead the bats away. But most of the time, they're too fast. They will just go and attack your wolves, your tamed boar, and it's so heartbreaking when you're trying to fend off the raid, and then you see your poor little piggies die one by one, including your 2-star boars that you spend so much time trying to breed and tame and everything, and it's like, yeah.
They killed.
That would be cool.
They killed my tamed deers.
Exactly. See, they're a pest. We need to do something. So either the kitties that Bambi is asking for would fight the bats, or we need like scarecrows or something. But we need more protection against those damn bats.
I think this is the best idea. The whole podcast. Yeah, we need this.
Yeah, they've already got the Jacko turnip right for the head. They just stick it on the scarecrow and they're good to go.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. It's like it affects an area and the bats can't go in that area and they have to stay away. Yeah, that would be perfect. Well, for myself, I think this is probably one that's been mentioned in the past, but I'm just going to say it again because of our new modded server. When I toured it last night, when I dropped into the world, and there was a Viking walked right up to me. Yes. And he was about a foot taller than me. This big Viking warrior who was bigger than I was, walked up to me and started talking to me. And he was an NPC who was giving me information about this new world that I'd landed in. And that's our new modded server. There's these NPCs, and the admins, when they create these NPCs, they can have them say anything. They can give you all this information. They give you clues. They can teach you how to do some of the new things in the game, or send you off on quests, and then, be traders and vendors, sell stuff to you, let you, like a marketplace, you can give the NPC some stuff, and they have like a little marketplace interface, and you can say, I wanted to charge this much. And then the next person can look through the marketplace and buy it. But yeah, NPCs would be awesome because the world feels a little barren, but having more, especially if you're playing single player, you never see another, human being in the world. So having Vikings around, and I would say both allies and enemies. So there's ones that could be, ally with you, and maybe you pay them and they're like a pet. They would act as like a pet where you could have them stay or follow you, and it would only last a certain amount of time until you pay them more. What a perfect gold sink that would be, right? Because we don't have enough gold sinks. Everybody just builds up large rooms of gold coins and they don't know what to do with them. But if you keep paying an NPC to follow you around or guard your house or kill bats for you, right? You give one a bow and it's shooting those bats for you over that are trying to raid your property. That would be awesome. And then, of course, if you have long ships out in the ocean that you encounter, like other creatures in the ocean that you can encounter, what if you got 3 or 4 or 6 Vikings, NPC Vikings on it that start shooting arrows at you and try to board you?
Oh gosh!
The if only there's not a mod quite for that yet that I know of for the sea battles, but a sea battles mod would be awesome if any of you modders out there listening. I'm sure the logistics.
Yeah, right.
As you, Matt. And the Odin Plus team out there, they got a bunch of great stuff, but yeah.
They might have you on mute, Jiroc.
Yeah, they're like, we get tons of requests already. It's hard enough keeping up with the mods they've got already.
Don't worry, they remember your request. I'm not sure that's for good or bad, but they remember.
Yeah.
Almost have Vastay on mute as well.
Well,
I will say that when I was playing around on the modded server yesterday, I got attacked by a large, intimidating creature inside the safe zone, and I dragged it over to some of the NPCs, hoping that they would protect me, and they didn't.
no.
You didn't pay
It's
them
not
enough.
You didn't pay
only
them
the
up.
safe
You
zone.
die.
It's not call it the safe zone. I only will say
It's
that.
just the starting zone, not the
Starting
safe
zone, yes. Yes.
An invisible pig will still kill you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention about that starting zone. And this is it's just a little fun thing for the elite members. So on my Patreon, if you can get a slightly higher level of donation, which I totally appreciate, takes a lot of work. But for the elite and higher members, there is a special area that only you can enter with some special stuff for you just to
VIP zone.
Yeah, a little VIP zone.
Yeah.
Does it have an NPC bouncer that turns you away if you're in rags?
Yeah, basically.
Amazing.
Get out of here. He grabs you by the collar and your belt and then get out of here.
You don't look like an elite.
Yeah. But yeah, there's an area that only they can enter. You do basically get bounced out by like a magic bubble thing that's around it. Kind of like Haldor. When you walk up to Haldor, he's got like this bubble around him. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So kind of just a fun little starter perk, little area for those folks. And in addition to all their other perks they can get on the modded server too, if they so choose. But we're down here to the final segment of the podcast, and we're going to do a quick little show and tell. So for those of you just on audio, you'll just have to listen and use your imagination. But the video is easily available on YouTube, so you can just go to that very last part there and see. But we're going to do a quick little show and tell for those of us who found something to show and or tell about. Morning Darkness, do you want to start?
Sure. So I'm actually wearing it. It's a vest that you can't see it because it's got green in it. It's a vest.
It's an invisibility cape. Oh my God, you're a magician.
There you go.
There we go. With greens and purples and blues. And I used something called the crocodile stitch.
Ooh.
But it looks like dragon scales. And so it's actually quite large.
You made that?
I did.
Amazing.
I made it the first winter that I got sick, and I was being really heavily affected by the cold. And so I spent probably $100 in yarn alone.
Oh, wow.
And I sat and I watched my husband play The Witcher 3. And so he was playing, I was watching from over his shoulder because I had gotten to a point where I couldn't really play games anymore, but I still wanted the gaming experience. So he was playing the game for me, and I was able to watch and crochet this whole thing over the course of 3 months.
Nice.
And now I wear it to every sort of convention or anything like gaming convention or writers convention that I go to. Mostly because it helps me stand out in a way that isn't just that chick in a wheelchair. It's, that chick with that cool vest. And it's always a great conversation point. And so, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Me too. That hood is amazing.
Yeah.
Looks like a ton of work in there with all that. That's really cool.
If I were to charge for it to even be worth my time, and it's really nice yarn too, but if it would probably cost something like $400 or $500 to make for someone else. So I would never make it for someone else unless it was an absolute love offering, which I am making a vest that is red scales for my husband.
Oh, cool.
But I'm using a much smaller yarn, and I'm 5 years in and have about this much done.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, Deviant, our special guest for this week, do you have something you'd like to share with us?
Well, I do and I don't, because I actually didn't plan on showing anything, and then I was thinking about it, and actually, I'm going to grab it off the wall. I don't know how well this is actually going to come off with the light, because it is on glass. This was something, and I don't know, I think it's coming out not too far away. It's actually part of the, I don't know how well you're going to see that. That's part of, there's like the reflection of the screen and everything is there.
Yeah, we can see.
Kind of tilt it back.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
It's Vikings. Is that Vikings?
It's God of War.
Oh,
And
God of
yeah.
War.
It's Vikings.
It's the
God
image.
of War with Vikings.
Yeah, it's the image that they gave with the, I think it was like the special pack you could buy, with the game, whatever the gold thing. But I never got it, and then I got God of War after that, and then my housemate. I was telling him how much I loved God of War and I loved the Viking theme and everything before Valheim even existed or came into the world. And he got it for me as a Christmas present. I got him a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, I got him a bottle of whiskey, so he really got the bad end of that. But yeah. I think actually it was probably one of the things that like sparked Valheim for me when I saw it, and I was like, oh, yeah, Vikings, yeah, more.
Give me more.
And then yeah, sorry, probably doesn't do it justice on the camera, but yeah, it's probably one of the coolest things I probably got as a gift. And then I got the PC. It was actually before the PC, I think, or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely, it's probably one of the coolest things I have as far as like a nerd gamer thing. There's the big fabric map as well. It's huge and it's hanging on the other side of the room. But yeah, that's probably, and I saw the Draugr in Valheim, and then I was like, oh, glowing eyes, everything. I was like, oh man, this is it. More. I'd love to know if like the developers like take inspiration from like those kind of games, like the different art styles and everything.
Yeah,
I'd actually love to know where even that new visual effects artist, like if they're going to take inspiration from somewhere, like what are they looking at to get it? Yeah,
that's a good interview question for next time we have one of them on the podcast.
I've got loads. What's your favorite color?
Okay, well, we'll hit you up then.
There you go.
Cool. Bambi, do you have any sounds to share with us this week?
No, not this week. I'm sorry. I was thinking about some stuff, but maybe next week I can, if we're gonna do show and tell, I can show progress on the neck. I'm needle filting.
Oh, cool! Yeah, you could always send me a picture and I can show it if you don't.
For now, no, I couldn't come up with anything. So
okay, well, Vaste, what are you going to show us today besides that freshly shaven chin of yours?
We have a stable shut and be done. Yeah, no. This is one of the games I play a lot and one of my favorites. I think in one of the other podcasts I mentioned Skyrim. This will be the next one, which is the Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Nice.
Such a good game.
Pirates.
Yeah, it's true. I play a lot of PlayStation 3 because it came out with in the moment that here the internet was really bad. So I wasn't into PC game. So I spent a lot of time with that, with Skyrim and this game, both of them.
Are you a big fan of all the Assassin's Creed games? Or just most of them? Yeah.
Most of them, yes.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing to look at.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. And the last ones are really great. They step up a lot.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Gwen, what have you got over there in the witch's corner to show us?
In the witch's corner, besides my one of my many hats, I do have another headpiece that I can show. That for those who watch me on my channel and who have been following my no map streams, you'll be familiar with this. And if you play Valheim, you'll be familiar with this. Maybe does that ring a bell? Does this look like something?
It looks like some kind of hippie stuff.
I basically made the Midsummer Flower Crown.
Yeah, you talked about it in podcast as well. So
did I?
Yeah, you mentioned it that you wanted to craft it.
Oh yeah, well there you go. I did it. I done it. So it's I tried to make it as not realistic because I suppose it is realistic-ish, but I try to make it look like the one in the game because the one in the game is full of like yellow and white flowers, and I made this in like 15 minutes as a fun little thing once I had the materials, and I'll be wearing it for every no map stream.
Looks great.
Amazing.
It's fun. And Jiroc, you thought that it was a Snapchat filter or some sort of like.
Yeah, when I first
you
saw
didn't think it was
video.
real. It does kind of look like that. But yeah.
So are people going to be able to go to Etsy to Gwen the Shield Maiden's channel and order themselves a flower crown?
I can't charge for this. Honestly, it was so easy to put together. But if people are interested, I can make a short video explaining where I got, like what to get, where to get it, and then how to make it. It's super easy, super cheap and easy for
fun.
Yeah.
And again, it looks great. You get away with anything.
Well, there's that, and because of this weekend thing that I'm doing with my sister, she actually asked me to make her a little cape, a black cape. And so I made one, and then I was like, I've got extra fabric left. Maybe I could try to make a real life version of a Fenris hood. So maybe that's my next project. Oh, nice. Nice mantle. Looking fancy.
Yeah, this is my show and tell item. I got a faux fur mantle, and this one is called something wolf. Forget, not mountain wolf. They had a mountain wolf actually, and it was a white one, and they had a black one, but I like the this one. But yeah, it actually, my wife said, "Oh, there you go. Now you don't look like a hippie." But I think I still look like a hippie with the hat and glasses a little bit. Just like a little bit warmer.
You look like
hippie.
you're going to Burning Man.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and Vikings wore furs, right? Maybe not this exact way, but it does make it look a little more wild, and you kind of fluff up the beard and get a little more wild. You're like,
and get rid of the sunglasses, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think those existed in the Viking age.
Nope. Now, hopefully, it's not a real mountain wolf because their whole clan is going after you now. There.
No, it is very soft, but yeah, it's all polyester fibers. But
sorry, Vasti.
No, he's officially a member then.
That's another way. Yeah.
Well, it's been super fun, everybody, and thank you for joining us this week, Deviant.
Thanks for having me.
And that's going to do it for this week. So, thank you, everyone, for joining me. And think about something fun if you want to wear for Halloween for next week, because it'll be just in time for a Halloween stream. I may pull out one of my Halloween costumes from years past and put that on, because I'm actually going as a Viking this year to the big Halloween party that my friends throw. I won't be wearing the hat and glasses to it, though, because I want to look more like a Viking and less like a hippie. So until next week, that's it for now. Have fun out there.
Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!